Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to take self-portraits and film your own videos all on your own with a variety of different cameras. I've been a big fan of photography for a really long time now, since I was a teenager, very used to taking a lot of self-portraits. So all the techniques I have today were self-taught and really nothing that groundbreaking. Okay, first up, you're going to notice that most of the cameras I'll talk about today are by Canon. That's just because I like Canon. All the tips I have are based off Canon cameras. I'm not sure how all the other brands work, so take that in consideration as you're listening to my video. Okay, so the first camera is a mobile phone. This one is an iPhone. I'm not too sure what the Android phones are like, but essentially most smartphones today come with a front camera and a back camera. The next one is a simple point and shoot, which is really light and portable. The third camera is your average camcorder. And the final camera I will talk about is DSLR. So the first one I'll talk about is the phone. I don't generally use this to create videos or take self-portraits. Sometimes I do that actually just for testing purposes, but they don't usually end up on my blog or my YouTube channel. It's more like Twitter, Facebook, those sort of like quick social media stuff. So I usually use the front view camera, which is not that high quality, at least for this. This is the iPhone 4S. Generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend it to take proper portrait photos or videos for YouTube. On the other hand, on the flip side, there is the back camera, which I think is 180p or at least shoots in HD, I think. I'm not a tech expert, I just know what I know based on what I've used. Duh. The quality here is much better, but the problem is when you're shooting like this, you can't actually see yourself, so you really have no idea what's appearing. So the best way to combat this is to potentially get a mobile tripod so you can prop it up, or do it my way and lean it on a bunch of stuff so that it props up and it stands upright. That way you can put a mirror right in front of the screen and you'll be able to see the reflection on what is being recorded. And this method's fine if you're shooting videos because you can just trigger it and then step away. But if you're trying to take a full body photo of yourself, unless you have insanely long arms, you're probably going to need to find a friend to help you, because I don't think this comes with a remote trigger or a timer. Though maybe there's an app out there for it. Okay, next camera is point and shoot. I love this camera because it's so compact, it's light. It's actually lighter than my phone. And I carry this one with me everywhere I go in my handbag just because it's much faster at taking photos and videos when I need to, rather than turning my phone on, typing in the password, then finding the app that I need. But the quality on these rival most smartphones nowadays, so I can see how these are becoming more and more obsolete for people with really awesome phones. But I still find that the cameras themselves have an array of different settings, and it gives you a much better control over the quality of your photos and your videos, unless there's an app for that. However, the downside with these are that there is no way to really see yourself as you're filming. So I recommend, just like with the iPhone, put it on a little tripod, then put a mirror behind it so you can see what you're shooting. One of the benefits to the point and shoot is both the autofocus ability and the timer setting, even though the autofocus ability is really not that great. It means you can set the camera up to take a shot in about 10 seconds, will give you plenty of time to get in front and strike a pose. And similarly with video, so long as you set recording, put it aside, you can do whatever you want in front of it. Next camera is the camcorder, whose primary purpose is to actually film video. So there's two big advantages to the camcorder. First is the flip cam, so you can always see what you're filming, and the remote control that comes with it. Basically, this way it allows you to set up the camera on a tripod, and you can either be right up close or you can be a further distance away, and the remote basically allows you to control the camera. You can zoom in or out, change the settings, and you can even snap a photo, so it's great for taking outfit of the day photos as well. It's just that the quality for photos on this camera specifically is not that great. It's really designed more for filming videos, so I'd recommend this for people who actually want to film videos rather than trying to take nice photos. The other thing is that the autofocus on this is, in my opinion, much better than the point and shoots and even most phones, because it actually follows you and tracks you. They also have a really great wide angle. I think this starts at 4mm, which basically means that you can be really close to the camera and it still captures lots of stuff around you. So the last camera I want to talk about, and the one that I use the most, is my handy little DSLR. I think you can create much better quality photos and videos with using a DSLR, and I really recommend it for anyone who's very serious or very fanatical about having high quality videos and photos. These cameras are quite a big step up from the ones I've been talking about just because it's physically heavier. They're quite a bit more expensive, although I will get into the fact that the price usually lies in the lenses that you buy, which is another difference, that you can change these lenses. But if you're just beginning, I recommend just stick with the kit lens. Basically the lens that comes with the camera. Don't bother buying all the really fancy lenses out there until you're much more comfortable with the kit. Otherwise it just gets complicated for no reason. I tend to work with entry-level DSLRs just because I find them much easier to carry around, but of course they don't give you as much control as the more high-end DSLRs, which I know Surface Studio, who I'll link down below, tends to use for his videos. But for the purposes of my videos, entry level is all I need. And I've noticed, especially with the Canon range, that a lot of the newer entry-level cameras come with a little flip screen, which makes it so much easier to film videos of yourself and take self-portraits as well. But obviously if you have a DSLR that doesn't have a flip screen, just use the mirror technique. It applies to all cameras. One of the things with the DSLRs is that they respond really well to remotes. These remotes don't come with the cameras usually, but you can get them for like a few dollars on eBay, so definitely worth investing into these. So the thing about the DSLR cameras is that unless you're using a Canon 650D, I'm not sure what the American name for it is, but anyways, unless you're using one of the really latest Canon DSLRs, they don't autofocus when you take videos. They do for autofocus when you take photos. So basically you set up the camera, make sure that the lens is set to AF, that means autofocus, step away from the camera, and then trigger it off with the remote control, making sure that the remote control is set to actually take photos. And that's how you can take self-portraits. However, when you're filming videos, you're going to notice that even if you focus it and then trigger it to video, if you come up to it, focus it, step away, then trigger the video, it's going to record where it is. It's not actually going to autofocus, so you're just going to look really blurry. So one technique I found to fix this is to just set up the camera, step away, and trigger off a photo so it will autofocus on you. You'll snap a photo and then flip the remote so that it will trigger off the video, and then click that. And there you go. It will automatically film the video for you. The downside to this is that you really can't move back and towards the camera very much because autofocus won't change. So if you come too close, I've seen this in a couple of videos, some gurus they'll come too close to the camera and then it's just blurry. You can't actually see what they're trying to show you, which is really annoying for makeup tutorials. Similarly, if you step too far away, blur reveal. If you're filming videos where you're not going to be physically close to the camera, then you'll just have to do that technique I explained earlier. But if you're actually physically close to the camera, just set the lens to manual focus and it will allow you to change the focus each time throughout the video, and it will just make it so much easier. Personally for me, I just love the DSLRs. I just think that the quality is unmatched. I just wish I knew how to use it better. I guess I could if somebody on YouTube would actually start doing camera tutorials. And that's basically how I film most of my videos and take all the self-portraits on my blog. So thanks so much for watching my video. If you found it useful or you have any requests or questions, feel free to leave them either in the comments below or on Facebook or Twitter. Catch you in the next video. Bye!